Welcome to another handy lesson, and today's lesson we're going to talk about constructivism. So, constructivism, we're going to talk about the definition and its principles. Two main authors, David Kolb and Neil Fleming, and of course the roles of actors in the paradigm. It is important, though, to state that constructivism is kind of an evolution from cognitivism, in which authors such as Jean Piaget or Jerome Bruner were really giving a lot of information to cognitivism. But later on, they evolved into constructivism. And some other authors were added. These authors are the ones we're going to mention on this video. What is constructivism after all? Well, constructivism states on the premise that we as human beings learn everything through life, through internal experiences, and as we are living and growing, we are building and adding new bricks of knowledge, for saying it in a way, to our previous experience. In this way, we construct our knowledge. And of course, learning is the process of constructing experience after experience until we create a big wall of knowledge or expertise in one area of life. Of course, not only about academic subjects, but anything in life will be constructed through experiences after experiences. So this is basically why this paradigm is called constructivism. Then we have some authors such as David Kolb. David Kolb calls the experience of learning as the circle of the experiential learning. Okay, so he calls it the experiential learning cycle. What does he say? Well, he basically says the way that we receive experiences has a cycle. The first one is the concrete experience. This is the moment when we face any kind of experience. We are doing something or we receive information that is the concrete experience. If we imagine a baby, the first moment that a baby has food, solid food, that will be the concrete experience attached to the sensory motor stage. Okay, so this concrete experience will go on to the next stage of the cycle, which is the reflective observation, meaning that you're starting to reflect, think how you felt in the case of a baby, how it felt to taste that solid food for the first time, reflecting on the experience, if it was something good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, and then the next thing is conceptualize, meaning if you received or the way you perceive the experience, you're going to create a concept, which in the terms of the cognitive development theory, we can call the creation of your schema about something. So this abstract conceptualization continues into an active experimentation, meaning you will try it again to see if it works, if it happens the same again, if you receive a similar experience the next time you have the same experience. So that will be active experimentation. Of course, this learning cycle will be adapted to each stage of your cognitive development life. So, according to David Kolb, this is the way that we human beings receive experiences and create bricks of knowledge that later we can add to previous knowledge that we had. In this way, we will be constructing new experiences. Then we have Neil Fleming. Neil Fleming states that when we learn, we have different channels of perception through which we receive information. For some people, it is easier to receive information through visualization, meaning they need to see flashcards, they need to see images, videos. They are really visual. But there are other people who prefers to hear only, and they actually don't need to be watching or seeing something. But if they receive an explanation through hearing, then they will be auditory learners. And finally, according to Neil Fleming, there will be those people who need to touch, to move, to see and move things, touching them, sensing everything. This will be, according to him, the kinesthetic way of learning. So after he made some research on this way of perception and learning, he came up with the VAK model, which means the learning styles. When he came up with this theory, the VAK or VAK model were called learning styles. Nowadays, they are called learning preferences. It means that we human beings have one of these three as a preferred way of receiving information. Some people will prefer to be kinesthetic or auditory or visual. For Neil Fleming, it is important then for us as teachers to develop the other ways of the other learning preferences of each student. So the ultimate goal is that we could develop the three forms of receiving information so we could become better learners. So this is the VAK model. And the roles of actors in constructivism is the student, the teacher, and the institution. The student is a builder of his own learning. His role is that of an active person. He is going to construct experiences and knowledge. He's going to construct knowledge through experiences. The teacher then becomes a facilitator of resources. He is going to lead the student to have those experiences. And he is going to lead the student to reflect, to conceptualize, and to experiment so he can build these bricks of knowledge and add them to their previous knowledge that has already been built. Finally, the institution, the school as an institution, should understand the difference in learning styles and provide the correct facilities or the best facilities for this environment to be the ideal one for students to learn. This is basically constructivism. I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. See you in the next one.